Well, Matt Gaetz, the former North Florida congressman and current cable TV host, tells the Tampa Bay Times that he's considering another run for elected office. Just weeks after the release of a congressional report on sexual misconduct allegations against Gaetz, the former U.S. representative from the Panhandle tells the Tampa Bay Times that he's starting to think about running for governor in 2026. Chief among Gaetz's stated policy concerns, the insurance crisis. The House Ethics Committee's long-awaited report on Gaetz included substantial evidence that Gaetz used illegal drugs, accepted gifts outside of allowable limits, paid women for sex, and had sex with a 17-year-old girl during the time he served in Congress. The U.S. Department of Justice investigated Gaetz for sex trafficking before ultimately deciding not to charge him. Gaetz denies the allegations and is a popular figure among MAGA Republicans. And Deborah, I'm wondering, what do rank-and-file Republicans that you talk to think about Matt Gaetz?
That Matt Gaetz is yesterday's news. And I say that because his aspirations now are running for governor. His aspirations were running to become the appointee for the Department of Justice. And now he talks about insurance, that's a big issue, but what has he ever done? He was in the House, he was in Congress. What did he do in terms of insurance? He's very gifted in terms of his ability to articulate, but what are the issues? I think people, when they're electing a city council, they want someone that's been involved in the city, kind of understands the problems. When you're electing a governor, you want someone with a wide, diverse background and actual knowledge to deal with the issues that we have here in Florida. So who do we have? We have Ashley Moody with that legal background, total success, just an amazing representative of the people. You have Byron Donalds with that banking background, financial, with House of Representatives in Florida with congressional background. So much of our funding comes from Congress, so knowing that system and being well-liked and having also the ability to articulate as Ashley Moody does. You have Wilton Simpson with his agricultural background. Again, Florida, big agriculture producing state. So you have these very viable people. All of them have, and probably each one of them would get an endorsement from President Trump if the others weren't running. So I think Matt Gaetz is yesterday's
here's the deal, but here's the deal, and I agree that mainstream Republicans in the party don't like Gaetz. I am concerned that Floridians might vote for this guy. They voted for a guy who is now a convicted felon. That was done today. He has been accused of sexual assault, and they voted overwhelmingly for him. They put aside all the bad things that you hear about the president-elect and voted for him. It just blows my mind.
Look, Matt Gaetz is not Donald Trump.
No, he's not. No, he's not Donald Trump. But
that is not a great comparison.
I
voted 2 times for Donald Trump very happily. I'm glad he's in office. Matt, we've got a deep bench. We've got a deep bench, as she said. We've got Greg Stubbe, also a congressman south of here, considering a bid.
So you agree,
got lots of people.
Matt Gaetz, yesterday's news.
Well, I think that's a fair assessment.
I think, here's the deal. I went to college with Matthew, and I call people by their full names. I went to college with Matthew, and it's disappointing to see where he has ended up. So that's number one. But number two, it is problematic for me that this man who has been accused of sexual misconduct, having sex with an underage girl, statutory rape, that is what that is, that he continues to even have a platform in the Republican Party. He continues to even have people that would even pump up this idea of him wanting to run for governor. At the end of the day, this is not the first time I heard him wanting to run for governor. He said that while he was elected in Congress. But to Mike's point, I do actually agree with him. I am concerned that there are people that these things aren't going to be a deal breaker for them.
No,
you can't say that.
He's not going to be the nominee.
It wasn't a deal breaker for Republicans when Donald Trump was an adjudicated rapist. He's an adjudicated rapist,
and
it was not.
That was actually. Hold on. You might want to recant that one because Stephanopoulos Indianapolis.
The judge said it was akin to being a rapist in the case.
When there is a judgment, that's an adjudication. So either way,
Maybe get a letter from Trump on that one. Ask George Stephanopoulos about that.
I don't know why ABC settled. That was crazy.
but nonetheless,
He wasn't convicted, though, of rape.
he was not convicted, but I will say civilly adjudged.
Michelle, I want to ask you about Byron Donalds. Wilton Simpson was on the show last week. He said he wants to continue to be agriculture commissioner, but he does have $30 million in funds that he controls. Byron Donalds made a big move this week.
Yeah.
He hired Tony Fabrizio, who's one of the best pollsters in the country, best pollster in the state. What do you make of that?
I mean, I think that, when people start making those certain moves, you kind of know what's happening. You kind of know what they're trying to do. I mean, once again, his name has come up quite often as far as someone that's a potential to be governor. So I think that, Ron DeSantis is basically done. We know that the next election cycle starts the day after the last one ends. And so he is also kind of making it known that, like, if you want to come for me, here I'm hiring Donald Trump's pollster. Also, I think that it's fair to say of all the people that Deb named, he's one of the closer people to Donald Trump, right?
Yeah. It's all about who's endorsed by Donald Trump, right?
The president-elect will weigh in on the race. You can bet on it.
All right. Well,
and Byron is well positioned on that.
Yeah.